because I think the language is going to be a little bit blue, and if these guys are faking this
I am bummed out.
I'm so sad about it.
I do not like that.
That's the one that I wish.
To me, just in my opinion, I can't see that happening. Now, this is Hollywood we live in.
Johnny Nelson destroyed Dubois after he accidentally leaked the Usyk fight script just one day before the bell, and he didn't spare Usyk either. Nelson mocked the whole saga, but Dubois caught the worst of it. He called him out as a fraud trying to bypass experience. Johnny said it plain. You can't rehearse greatness, mate.
He was an aggressive fighter. One thing you can't cheat, and that's time.
Joe Rogan snapped, and Dubois was the target. After the leaked script chaos, Rogan questioned everything: the prep, the mindset, the plan. Fans were fuming, calling it a rehearsed robbery. Joe saw right through it. He said what no one dared. Dubois wasn't ready. He was winging it. And in boxing, that gets you hurt.
You're already sparring?
Yeah.
Like, or have you been just kind of fucking off here and there, and then you're like, I can fucking do it?
Yeah.
Because I can fucking do it is not a good
Joe Rogan's fury wasn't random, and now we know why. Tony Jeffries confirms it. The script was real. Dubois' accidental leak sent fans into meltdown. X exploded with outrage. The rematch? Already stitched together. Dubois got exposed, Usyk stayed quiet, and boxing fans felt played. This wasn't build-up. This was a scandal scripted line by line, and Jeffries wasn't finished. In the very next breath, he drops another bomb. The script didn't just leak, it played out exactly as written.
Well, X has spoken. The fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X.
Tony Jeffries couldn't believe what he was seeing. The fight was unfolding like a live-action version of the leaked script. Fans were losing it in real time, screaming fixed, online. Dubois looked clueless, Usyk looked bored, and Jeffries nailed it. Nothing surprising, nothing genuine. It was all playing out exactly as predicted, and that's terrifying.
Stop right there. Even before I seen this script, that's exactly what was going to happen. Like, what else would?
Eddie Hearn looked gutted, not just disappointed, but genuinely hurt by what he was seeing. A rematch that felt staged, a script that leaked, a result playing out like theater. And now watching it live, even Eddie couldn't fake interest. One of boxing's biggest voices just said it. This isn't the sport we love.
I'm not saying abandon the fight. I'm just going, not for me, mate. I don't want to watch it. So, like...
But while Hearn stepped back, Frank Warren stepped forward, furious, defensive, and denying everything like the heat wasn't rising by the second. Frank Warren came out swinging, but not at Dubois or Usyk. Instead, he attacked the fans, the media, and the entire internet. He called the script leak absolute lies, blaming everyone else for what had clearly spiraled out of control. But let's be real, the fans weren't buying it. By now, every frame of the fight was matching the viral leak. Every round looked scripted. Every reaction online screamed fix, yet Frank tried to paint it all as baseless conspiracy. The same fans who support British boxing week in, week out, he labeled them gullible and misled. It backfired. Comment sections exploded with fury. People weren't just doubting Dubois, they were now doubting Frank. The anger turned from speculation to rebellion, and instead of calming things down, Frank's denial poured petrol on the fire. The trust was breaking, and his voice didn't carry the same weight anymore. And if you thought Warren's denial was wild, wait till you hear what he said next about legal documents and being lied to on paper.
Because they're conning the public. They're making something, making up something. So then we put the fight out the purse.
This time Frank didn't just deflect, he doubled down. He claimed others were lying, that official documents were being forged, that legal action might be coming, and fans, they were stunned. Not because of what Frank said, but because of how defensive he sounded. If the script leak really was fake, why talk about legal threats? Why mention contracts? Why call out con men if everything was normal? The way Frank spoke, it felt like damage control, desperate, rushed, and scripted itself. By now, fans had already clipped moments from the fight and compared them line for line to the leaked version. The body shots, the corner reactions, even the referee timing, everything lined up. So when Frank started waving legal jargon, it wasn't reassuring. It was suspicious. It felt like the fix was bigger than expected, and now they were trying to clean it up before the backlash got worse. And then came Gareth A. Davies, trying to piece together the whole story live on air, and sounding just as confused as everyone watching.
They absolutely get caught out lying, out and out lying and conning the public. Documents signed by them, which as I say are subject to litigation.
Gareth A. Davies looked like a man caught in the middle of a mess, a journalist trying to stay professional while the boxing world was tearing itself apart. His words were soft, uncertain, and full of hesitation. He hadn't reported anything yet. He was still piecing it together. But for fans watching, there was nothing left to piece. The script had leaked, the fight had mirrored it, the rematch was locked. What more did they need? Gareth's tone added to the chaos, because if one of boxing's most seasoned analysts was still processing, then this scandal had already gone too far. And that's what stung most. No one was giving clear answers. Not Frank, not Dubois, not Usyk, and now, not even the media. Fans felt abandoned. Their voices were screaming online, but all they got in return was silence, spin, or confusion. It didn't feel like boxing anymore. It felt like cover-up season. And finally, Gareth added one more twist, quietly revealing Dubois had already hired lawyers. The plot thickened again.
Disappointing, of course, Umar, and I think I've just been piecing it together today. I haven't been reporting on it this morning.
And there it was, the quiet bombshell. Dubois already had legal representation. Even before this whole scandal exploded, he had lawyers in place. That's not a coincidence. That's preemptive damage control. Gareth tried to play it neutral, but the tone said it all. Dubois was preparing for fallout. Maybe he knew the leak was real. Maybe he knew the rematch was fixed. Or maybe, just maybe, this was all bigger than we thought. Fans took this revelation like a slap in the face. You don't lawyer up before a clean fight, unless you're expecting controversy. It added fuel to the theory that this rematch wasn't just planned, it was protected. Legal fences around a scripted circus, and for the average fan, that crossed a line. Now it wasn't just about bad matchmaking, it was about betrayal. Trust in the sport was cracking, and Dubois' silence, paired with quiet legal moves, made it worse.
And I think he's already had lawyers for his scenario, for his situation. They've represented him. I did read briefly earlier that he did have representation from a legal firm.
Anthony Joshua didn't name names, but fans knew exactly who he was aiming at. With Dubois being tossed around in sparring stories and fight-fixing rumors, AJ's message hit like a jab to the ego. No one's manhandling me. Translation? I'm not Dubois, and that line echoed everywhere. It was confidence, defiance, and a subtle dig, all in one. Fans immediately took sides. Some backed AJ, saying he's always been about pride and toughness, no matter the opponent. Others dragged Dubois further down, claiming AJ was doing what the promoters wouldn't, calling out the weak mentality behind the leaked script. For many, this was the moment it all clicked. Dubois wasn't mentally built for this. The lawyers, the staged rematch, the sparring collapses, it all screamed insecurity. Joshua's calm dominance only made it worse. One man stood tall, the other hid behind legal teams and scripted moments. Fans began wondering, if AJ was in Dubois' shoes, would the outcome be different? Would Usyk have been pushed to the edge? What about you? If Joshua faced Usyk in Dubois' place today, how would that fight end? Is AJ still a threat, or just another name in the script?
In the ring sparring, or whether it's in the ring fighting, I won't let anyone manhandle me or try and knock me out, no way.
Billy Nelson didn't just speak, he exposed. That body shot story? Fans were stunned. According to Billy, Dubois folded mid-sparring and just stopped. No grit, no pushback, just quit. In a sport built on pain and pride, this sounded like betrayal. For fans already raging over the leaked script and questionable rematch setup, this was gasoline on the fire. Dubois has no dog in him. One comment said, another wrote. No wonder they needed a script. The hardcore fans weren't surprised. They'd seen this pattern since the Joyce fight, but this time with the world watching and the scandal unfolding, it all looked unforgivable. Billy didn't hold back. He made it sound like Dubois not only got folded, but mentally checked out long before the ring walk. And when fans hear stuff like that, it's hard to believe in a redemption arc. You can fix matchmaking, you can fake hype, but you can't fake heart. And according to Billy, Dubois left his on the gym floor.
Daniel just stopped. Daniel broke his nose and stopped sparring.
Martin Bakole said it with his chest. He dropped both Dubois and Usyk in sparring, and not one of them has dared to deny it. Fans were floored. In a week already filled with script leaks, staged rematch rumors, and legal maneuvering, Bakole's confidence brought a different kind of fire. No cameras, no staged knockdowns, just raw gym war stories. And the silence from both camps? Deafening. If Dubois and Usyk really had answers, now was the time to speak. Instead, fans saw retreat, and that silence was treated like guilt. Bakole's words made people question everything. Was Usyk as dominant as the PR claimed? Was Dubois even top 10 material? Some fans hailed Bakole as a silent killer, the one man who had no script, no excuses, just hands. And if his stories are true, it changes the entire narrative. What if the best fighter in this whole saga wasn't even on the poster?
Do you remember the shots specifically that dropped him?
Uppercut, left hook, jab. All of them, I give them hard time with the jab. I always keep this one for the fight. So soon I use it once, so you can't stand, but the nose, I got nice jab, nice left hook.
Joe Rogan said it like it was. Dubois got flatlined in sparring, not outworked, not overwhelmed, knocked out in the first round. That story didn't just embarrass Dubois, it turned the heat up on everything else. The leaked script, the fixed rematch, the lawyers, now it all made sense to fans. Why else would someone leak a script? Why else would they need it to follow a storyline? Because behind the cameras, the truth was brutal. Dubois couldn't survive sparring with elite monsters, let alone win a rematch against a man like Usyk. Rogan's tone wasn't mocking, it was disappointed, like he'd seen this story too many times before. A fighter hyped too early, pushed too fast, and exposed when the lights got hot. Fans were ruthless in the comments. He's soft, one wrote. KO'd before the ring walk. Another added, the question wasn't whether Dubois could beat Usyk, it was whether he should even be in there at all.
Out in the first round, he hit him with a left hook and then a right hand as he was going down. Pereira's a monster, so he was sparring with this.
What started as a simple rematch turned into boxing's biggest scandal of the year. A full script leaking 24 hours before the fight? A rematch already fixed behind the scenes? Fans didn't just watch, they exploded. From Johnny Nelson roasting Dubois' lack of experience to Joe Rogan calling out the lazy mindset, this wasn't just criticism, it was a complete character assassination. And then came the firestorm. Tony Jeffries confirmed the script, Eddie Hearn couldn't even pretend to enjoy it, and Frank Warren scrambled to defend the circus. Gareth A. Davies tried to stay neutral, but even he admitted Dubois had lawyers ready before punches were thrown. And then the sparring stories broke loose. From Dubois getting slept by monsters in round 1 to Bakole claiming he dropped both Usyk and Dubois, and nobody dared deny it. The fans? They've had enough. Many believe the rematch was a stage setup to protect reputations and secure future paydays. Others feel Dubois never had the grit for this level and leaked the script trying to survive public pressure. And as AJ calmly stood in the background reminding everyone, I won't be manhandled, the question now isn't who wins, it's who's still believable. Is boxing spiraling into scripted theater, or are fighters now using leaks and legal teams to hide their cracks? So let's settle it. Is Dubois finished as a top contender, or does he deserve one more chance? And do you believe the rematch was real or written? Drop your thoughts below.